Hey guys, it's Bree. It's time for another Friday Reads and Weekly Wrap Up. Welcome to the last full week of March. It's almost done. Can't really even believe it. I had a pretty good week this week. I started off reading Deathless by Valente. This is a retelling of the Russian folk's tale of Koshi the Deathless. It is about a woman who is married to essentially like the Lord of Life. He has no death. He has taken it out of his body, and she falls in love with him and kind of is taken away from the reality of regular human life into this more magical world. It takes place during World War II, and the combination of the setting with the really interesting examination of the characters and the interesting blending of fantasy with traditional folk tales I found to be really interesting. I then read a book I had checked out from the library, which is Packing for Mars by Roach. I heard about this on Nicole's channel, Nicole's Adventures in SFF, and then again at Rachel over at Culinati's. They were right. This is a fantastic book. It is funny and informative and basically everything you would ever want in a book about space. And then I read Nalo Hopkinson's The New Moon's Arms. This is a really interesting book. This is a story about a woman who lives in the Caribbean, and she's an older woman in her 50s. She's done raising her family because she had her children, or she had her only daughter at 15 years old. And when she was a very, very little kid, around 8 years old, she used to be what's called a finder. And a finder is somebody who has the ability to find things. She finds that this power is returning to her. And then a mysterious little boy shows up nearly drowned on the beach, and she finds him. I quite liked it. I give it a 4 out of 5 stars, and I'll definitely be picking up more of Nalo Hopkinson's works. This is the second book I've read by her this month, and I'm excited to read more by her. I find that I really like the way that she approaches fiction and approaches speculative fiction specifically. So now for my upcoming reads. I am in the middle of Blackout by Connie Willis. I started this book on Thursday. I'm maybe 150 pages in, and I'm thinking I'm going to get it done this weekend. It is a story about a world where historians have the ability to actually go into the past and observe what is happening in real time. This kind of plays on my like little 15-year-old love of timeline, which is basically the same idea. But Willis does it so much better already. Only 150 pages in, and you can tell she really enjoyed and was thorough in doing her research. I am not even halfway through, so I can't tell you too much about the story, but I will be finishing that this weekend, and I am looking forward to it. Then I have out from the library God's War by Kameron Hurley. Kameron Hurley is the author of The Mirror Empire, which was a pretty big book this last year, and I wanted to read more of her stuff because even though there were some problems that I had with her Mirror Empire, for instance, the lack of kind of world building and the inability to tell exactly how the magic system worked, I really kind of like her thought process. And so I picked up God's War as a way to introduce myself to her more. I'm also going to be reading Vicious by V.E. Schwab. Basically, this is a huge book. Not in size, of course, in reputation on BookTube. And I've heard some mixed things about it. I know that the YA community really loves it. I've heard relatively positive things about it from others in the community. And so I'm interested to see what is in this book and kind of find out more about it. It is a kind of superhero origin story, and that kind of appeals to me. As somebody who likes comics, even though I'm not necessarily always into the whole superhero trope, As a comics lover, I do have a very sincere and genuine appreciation for it, and so I think that will appeal to me, and I think I'm going to quite like that. And then the last book I have kind of lined up for this week is N.K. Jemesin's The Killing Moon. This was on the BookTube Reading Buddies list of books to read a couple months ago, and I didn't get around to it. But I've heard great things about N.K. Jemesin, and I know Nicole loves it, and I absolutely trust her opinion. So I'm looking forward to picking it up. Let me know what you're looking forward to reading this week. I hope you've had a fantastic week. I'll talk to you later. Bye.